Welcome back to The Haunted Beard, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Today, I want to give you my review and thoughts on the latest Hulu film that just dropped, No One Will Save You. This is a sci-fi horror thriller starring Kaitlyn Dever. But before I get into it, it is all horror and thriller movie content here on The Haunted Beard, so listen, do not click that subscribe button unless you want to be haunted by the beard. No One Will Save You tells the story of Bryn, an exiled, anxiety-ridden homebody who must battle an alien that's found its way into her home. And going into this, I didn't really have much expectations for this at all. It is a PG-13 horror film, 90 minutes, straight to streaming, and to me it seemed like just a pretty standard, straightforward, kind of alien survival horror thriller movie. But I am happy to announce that it is a little bit more than that, and there was some more depth to this thing than I originally would have expected. I think there's some comparisons here that could be made to films like A Quiet Place and Signs, and even Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is another good example of a movie that's best to go in blind and knowing very little, if anything, about. And outside of that brief synopsis, that was all I knew going into this movie. And I feel like anything that I really say about it is a bit of a spoiler and kind of will ruin a bit of the experience. And so I'm going to intentionally be very vague in what I talk about. But the first thing I want to talk about is Kaitlyn Dever's performance. I think she is really solid. She does just a great job as Bryn. And she is able to bring some depth and emotional complexities to this character that I think she portrays quite well. And she does it very convincingly and effectively, as there is an element to this film's presentation that I won't give away, but I did not know about, and it was unexpected. And it was kind of this pleasant surprise. I think they're able to pull off this type of presentation pretty effectively. And also, that really kind of contributes into how effective that Kaitlyn Dever's performance is within this type of presentation. Again, I'm being intentionally very vague, but I think it just works really well. I think she does a good job with her character. And this presentation, I think, contributes to kind of this mysterious element to the whole thing, as I was very intrigued and grabbed. There's something that happens about 20 minutes in that was pretty unexpected and surprising for me. And then as the film progresses, you're kind of in this mysterious, intriguing sort of realm where you're trying to figure out what exactly is going on, what exactly her plans are. And so a lot of the film kind of feels sort of spontaneous a little bit, as we're just kind of along for the ride. And so I think that helps with just kind of the excitement factor. It kept me engaged. It helped just the pacing of the film moves along pretty well. There's not really ever a dull moment. And so again, I like the way that the film presents itself. I think it works pretty well and kind of just hooked me right in. Also too, I think the sound design and the sound mixing of the film is pretty effective and memorable. I think it just works really well and really helps kind of sell the overall atmosphere and vibe of the movie. I think the CGI is pretty well handled. There's a few moments where it doesn't look great, but for the most part, I think it's pretty effective, pretty well done, and serves the movie quite well. Now, regarding the ending, and again, no spoilers, but I kind of thought that I had things sort of figured out, that I kind of understood what the filmmakers were doing, and I kind of had an understanding of what was going on. And then the film went on for another 2 to 3 minutes, and it kind of threw a curveball at me and left me a little bit confused and asking questions. And so the last few minutes kind of caught me off guard. And I've been thinking about it ever since, and I'm still not entirely sure what to make of it. It's left me with a lot of questions, which I typically like. I like the ambiguity, and I've been sitting here kind of thinking about it and pondering it. I'm not exactly sure where I land on it, and it's a film, though, that kept me engaged throughout, and that I enjoyed enough to kind of want to go back to and rewatch. I do think that there is, like I said, some depth and some little clues and layers there that are kind of sprinkled throughout the movie. Also, too, I think this is one that is kind of in a rare category where this would be a good sort of beginner intro to horror type movie, but also I think would be one that sort of the hardcore seasoned veterans of horror would also enjoy as well. And so I think it plays across sort of the wide spectrum there of horror fans. So yeah, I feel like my score for this is still kind of TBD just because of where I'm currently at with the ending, but I'm going to give it a 7 right now. That's kind of a loose 7 because I'm still trying to figure that out, but it is good. I would recommend it, and it's streaming right now on Hulu. So yeah, go check it out. Let me know your thoughts though down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Would love to hear some people's thoughts on the whole ending and what they kind of made of everything. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's kind of perplexing, but it's pretty good though. I quite enjoyed it. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Like always, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you next time on The Haunted Beard.